The Oklahoma City Thunder are one game away from winning the NBA Finals. I'm almost scared to say it. I am. I literally just got back home from the game. I clicked record. These are the rawest emotions I could possibly have based on the traffic that I got in, but I'm here, and I can't believe it. The Oklahoma City Thunder are one win away from winning the NBA Finals. Okay. Let's talk about Game 5. Look, early on in this game, it felt like it could get nasty for Indiana. They couldn't get inside the three-point line, it felt like, for a pretty large amount of that first half. And they were just continuing to struggle in terms of just kind of getting their offense going. And I'll tell you, early on in this game, exactly when I thought that this game might be a runaway win for Oklahoma City. Frankly, I should have known better because it's goddamn Indiana Pacers team. But I should have known better. But regardless, the moment where I kind of thought that this could be a runaway win was early on in the staggered minutes with SGA out first, with Haliburton still in the game. Now, this was before his injury and where he got hurt. We'll talk about it. But Oklahoma City maintained the lead fairly easily around like that 9, 10, 11 point mark, right? In those minutes. And at that point, I'm like, oh, okay, these are the minutes that Indiana's supposed to be winning. But it didn't happen. And then that third quarter came around. We're going to talk about it. First off, we got to start off talking about Jalen Williams. So many people question whether Jalen Williams can actually be a second option on an NBA Finals team. Everyone questioned so much of what he was as an all-star, as all defense, you name it. It's been questioned when it comes to Jalen Williams. And in the biggest game of his life, 2-2, NBA Finals, massive advantage for the team that wins. Jalen Williams drops 40 points. Jalen Williams drops 6 rebounds. Jalen Williams drops 4 assists. Jalen Williams goes 14-25, showing off everything that he can do. Getting to the rim with that scoop layup that has been working so well over the course of this series. He's got you there. The mid-range, which has been a little bit iffy, I still think that wrist isn't 100% right. We've seen it taped up in warm-ups, but regardless, it doesn't matter. He dropped 40. He has the mid-range. 3 of 5 from 3. 9 of 12 from free throw. This is Jalen Williams. No more questions. No more worries about if Oklahoma City has a number 2 next to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's all over now. Jalen Williams is that guy. Through and through. And in the biggest game of his life, proved that he is that guy. I mean, when you think about leading up to this, how we got here, that 2022 Oklahoma City draft with Chet Holmgren, who struggled in his own right a little bit a lot of it offensively, 4 of 15, but the rim protection was elite and had some incredible moments defensively in this game. We're going to get there on the offensive end, trust me. But going and getting Chet and going against Jalen Williams in the same draft, which, keep in mind, we are Paul George, like, get COVID and all that. There was a very, very, it was one of those, I feel like, track the history of the draft pick and, what had to happen for Oklahoma City to get the draft pick at where they got in the middle of that first round of 2022 to draft Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara. It's one for the history books right there. What's so crazy is that Jalen Williams performed so damn good that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's performance got overshadowed. And he was so good as well. 31 points, 10 assists after the lack of assists in that last game. But the thing that stands out to me the most, 2 steals, 4 blocks. Also only 3 turnovers as well for Shai. Just continue to take care of the ball and forcing turnovers on the other end. That is part of what makes him so good, is that yes, there are so many headline-making defenders on this Oklahoma City team. You have J-Dub. You obviously have Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, Cason Wallace, right? Even Chet down low is one of the best rim protectors in the entire league. So his defense gets overshadowed so frequently. And I frankly felt like he should have been a bigger part of the MVP debate, is the fact that Shai is actually playing both sides of the ball. tonight, it got overshadowed again. And that's so incredibly insane. But that's just how damn good Jalen Williams was. Let's talk about when stuff got wicked, though. Because in that third quarter, I was in that arena in absolute disbelief at what TJ McConnell was doing. I was spazzing out. Oh my God. You think about all like the voodoo jokes when it comes to Indiana. I thought TJ McConnell had summoned some type of demon that, oh my God, I can't even fathom what would have happened. It felt like game one. It felt like game one when Oklahoma City got just absolutely walked down. They came out of that second half lackadaisical. The foot was not on the gas pedal at all for Oklahoma City, and I was getting nervous. I ain't gonna hold you. I was getting nervous. TJ McConnell, 18 points, 8 of 14, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. He almost brought it back, and I was terrified. I was terrified. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I was TJ McConnell, like PTSD was flashing in front of my eyes between game 1 and then the masterclass that he put on in game 3 with Benedict Mathurin. I was terrified. I was. But ultimately, it came down to an interesting decision from Rick Carlisle, because I think most notably, Pascal Siakam also had a really great game. I don't want to overlook that. But the most notable thing during the game and coming out of the game is obviously Tyrese Haliburton, who reportedly had it was calf stiffness from Shams Charania on the broadcast. 0-6 tonight, 4-4 from the free throw line, 4 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Now, it was interesting because Indiana essentially elected, when like kind of trying to make their last run back into this game, essentially elected, hey, we're cool with spacing out with Tyrese and having Lu Dort spaced out and playing 4v4. And Pascal was hooping. So, like, to a point, like, I kind of get it. I would kind of get it more if TJ McConnell wasn't doing what he was doing. And for Tyrese Haliburton, again, like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, he should have toughed out the injury more, or blah, blah, blah. Like, he was playing. I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to say that. I've never had to deal with calf stiffness, let alone in an NBA Finals basketball game with the adrenaline and the emotions and everything that goes into play with that. I'm not going to sit here and like dog him for that. However, you have to get some level of offensive production from him, it feels like, to win this game. And it wasn't there. And once Oklahoma City essentially realized, because he wasn't even really looking for his shot at all. I think he maybe, after coming back, I want to say I remember him taking like one layup where he missed, one layup where he got to the free throw line is what immediately comes to mind, especially like deep in that game. And once Oklahoma City realized, hey, this guy's not going to shoot the ball. He's not. That's when the turnover started just ramping up quick. The deflected passes, the general steals. That's when they started ramping up bad. And I think going forward into Game 6, which Rick Carlisle says he expects Tyrese Haliburton to play. He said he was willing to play through it tonight. Obviously, still reaching up to 34 minutes. I think that there's going to be an interesting balance to try and strike if this is what Tyrese Haliburton is going to be able to give you in Game 6. Because just being a total lack of threat in terms of scoring, while Tyrese Haliburton was still making some really great passes, to be honest. Like, the playmaking was still being helpful on the court. I don't know if that is more than, and I don't expect TJ McConnell to go and have this type of game again, but the idea of pushing the pace with TJ McConnell and trying to just almost will your way to a Game 7 and hope that Tyrese Haliburton is back fully, it'll be something that's going to be interesting to weigh during the duration of Game 6. I fully expect Tyrese Haliburton to start, and you're going to see what they got. And if he's good to go, then he's good to go. Great, run with them. But I'll be very interested in figuring out what that balance is. And because to me, in this game specifically, I felt like you could have put TJ McConnell in a little bit early and you could have made an attempt to try and run back just on the basis of Pascal Siakam was doing really well, and TJ McConnell, and who has his own struggles on the defensive end and everything as well, just in terms of size and the two-man game with the pick and roll that they were kind of running with Shea and J-Dub and kind of picking their spots and deciding who was going to get the shot on every possession. With that said, though, I don't know if the idea of trying to play 4v4 versus Oklahoma City and the idea that Lou Dort can still, like, he's primarily face guarding Tyrese Haliburton, but you need Tyrese Haliburton. You need him. And I don't know if this version of Tyrese Haliburton, if this is what Indiana has in Game 6, if they're going to be able to get it done. But I know damn well to not write off this Indiana Pacers team at any point. The scenes of this series, no matter which way it goes in this next game or two, there are going to be players that are burnt into my memory for what they've done to the Oklahoma City Thunder and the entire Eastern Conference over the course of this playoffs, because this has been a run of the improbable. And right now, if Tyrese Haliburton is in this form, it might be their most improbable task to overcome yet. Going against the 68-14 Oklahoma City Thunder, going against a historic defense. But if any team over the course of any really recent years in the NBA, if any team has proven that they can overcome the odds and do something that seems absolutely impossible, it's this Indiana Pacers team. Selfishly, I hope they're not able to do it. But that's going to wrap it up for me for this little bit of Biased Thunder recap. Make sure you stay tapped in here. Hoops Up with Tyler DeLuca. Subscribe, like, share, comment. What are you looking for in Game 6? What are your thoughts on Game 5? Jalen Williams is a certified hooper. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the MVP. I'm going to see TJ McConnell in my nightmares. Pascal Siakam is one of them ones. Major takeaways from this game as we head into Game 6 with Oklahoma City one win away from winning the NBA Finals. Stay tapped in. Links down below in the description. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that. I'll see you next time.